Hello and welcome, everyone. No matter where you're joining us from around the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, we're so grateful to have you here. My name is Adrianne Carbonell, and I'm a brand ambassador with 3 International. And it's always exciting to connect across borders and time zones to be part of something that's truly global. What makes our Wellness Wednesday call tonight so special is that we get to hear directly from our science behind our products and really what sets them apart. And it's the very reason we're seeing such life-changing results in shorter amounts of time. And so really, we're going to dive into understanding the why tonight behind what we share. And that doesn't just build confidence, it really helps us impact more lives. So we have a very special guest, and I'm honored to welcome him, Dr. Dan Gubler, who is our Chief Scientific Officer of 3 International. And his PhD is in biochemistry, and he's a world-leading expert on medicinal molecules found in nature. So with decades of experience in formulation, Dr. Gubler has dedicated his career to helping people live healthier, longer, and more vibrant lives. His groundbreaking research and development are at the very core of the innovative products we're proud to share here at 3. So Dr. Gubler, thank you so much for joining us today. We're excited to dive in. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Adrian. So great to be with you. Look forward to our discussion. And for everyone on this call, welcome. Appreciate all that you guys do and look forward to having a good time.
Yeah. Well, you are so instrumental in the wellness world. And I know that wasn't always your background was just coming out with supplements. But really what we're doing here at 3 and, with your team is really groundbreaking product line. We have a groundbreaking product line and it's really redefining wellness, which I would say is, by combining advanced absorption technologies with our powerful natural compounds. So I wanted to kind of dive into a little bit more of the science side tonight and speak to those, like what really sets us apart. And so if we want to dive in first to really what are medicinal molecules, like that word kind of gets thrown out there sometimes. But you often highlight this, that our formulations are built around standout medicinal molecules from nature. So could you share an example or two of the most exciting molecules used in our products and the benefits that they deliver?
Absolutely. So to understand human health, we need to go back to the root, the base. And a lot of people will say, well, the cell is the basic unit of life. Well, not really, actually. If we take it even a step further, the basic fundamental unit of life is molecules. The body is molecular. It's made of over 1 octillion molecules. And so, if we want to take care of the body, we need to make sure that the molecules in the body are functioning properly. And how does that work? Well, recent research conducted by myself and others in the field of what we call natural products chemistry have found that molecules from plants can improve human health. And it's fascinating because plants make molecules. They grab nutrients from the soil, from good bacteria, and they make molecules. Scientific research has shown that why do they make those molecules? Well, they're medicinal for humans, but plants don't make it because, oh, this molecule might be good for John or Sally. No, plants make these molecules because it can help them to communicate with other plants. They act as natural insecticides, as defensive mechanisms, and actually a lot of other things that we don't know quite yet. And we're still in the process of discovering. But the beautiful thing about it, plants and humans have coexisted for thousands of years. And so it's powerful and it's beautiful that when we eat plants from nature, these molecules in these plants are medicinal for human beings. And so what we do at 3 that's really unique is we focus on molecules. Other companies, they focus on ingredients. They focus on, like turmeric, okay? That's an example. Well, for us, turmeric's great, but we could care less about turmeric, the ingredient. What we care about are molecules called curcuminoids that we use in our Revive product. And so if you focus on the ingredient and not the molecules, it's possible to have the ingredient but not have the medicinal molecules in that ingredient because it depends on extraction, processing. So you can actually have an ingredient like turmeric that contains very little of the medicinal molecules. And so a few examples talked about curcuminoids. If we're on the topic of Revive, black seed oil is one of the key ingredients in Revive. And again, it's not just the ingredient, the beautiful medicinal molecule is called thymoquinone. And so we can kind of go through the gamut, with our newest product, Kinetic. Yeah, it has energy, it has natural caffeine in it. That natural caffeine comes from green tea extract. But in green tea extract, you have a really cool molecule called epigallocatechin gallate, EGCG. Say that 10 times fast. That molecule is really good with helping with natural energy. It's a powerful antioxidant. It regulates the genes, the chemical switches in the body related to energy production. And, we could go through a list. Vitalite has a really cool molecule called delphinidin. Um, our collagen product has really cool molecules, ellagic acid and punicalagin from pomegranate and so forth. But basically, each of our products contain hundreds of different molecules, and that's really the key to the results that people are seeing that have transformed their health.
Yeah. So molecules found in nature, and not that they were made is, I do think that a lot of them are just made for us, because we're able to use them so well. It's not
Yeah.
something we have to think about. They're there, right? And you guys are out there really diving into that and making sure that we have access to all of that. Revive is by far one of my favorite products. I just took two this morning. Definitely an incredible anti-inflammatory. I actually don't know what I would do without it on a daily basis. And I know so many people feel that same way. Anyone who struggles with any type of inflammation, it is hitting on the molecular level, like you're sharing, and it's such a beautiful product. And so, really, really grateful for that. I love the kinetic too. I just want to piggyback off of that. There's not a day that doesn't go by that I'm not using the kinetic. I really, truly used to be such a coffee drinker. I only use kinetic now. It just makes me feel so much more hydrated, and I can think more clearly. And again, it's those powerful medicinal molecules that are being used in there, that yerba santa that you're talking about, et cetera. So it's exciting. But we do specialize in several different absorption technologies. And so I want to share and have you share at least that one of the things that really sets three apart is that. Can you explain how it works and why it helps people experience results faster and more effectively?
Absolutely. What a great question. The first thing we need to understand is you aren't what you eat. A lot of people say that, right? We are what we eat. You aren't what you eat. You are what you absorb. So
Right.
absorption is vital. You have the cell membrane, and the cell membrane is responsible for keeping the cell alive, right? So you have molecules that make the cell, and then you have trillions of cells that comprise the human body. And so the cell membrane is responsible for letting nutrients in and keeping other things out. And when it comes to these beautiful molecules from plants, the cell membrane is a bit particular about what it lets in. And I would say it's probably too OCD, the cell membrane. But it's erring on the side of caution. It wants to keep the body alive. So there's a lot of these medicinal molecules from plants that can't get into the cell membrane because some of them are too large, some of them are too small, some of them are not polar enough, some of them are too polar when we talk about polarity and liking water and not liking water. And so when we started this company, we saw an opportunity not only to study and discover new molecules from plants and put them into our formulations, which we do, but to make sure that these nutrients, these molecules, are highly absorbed into the cell. And in order to do that, we have 12 different cellular absorption technologies. Now, people might say, well, why 12? Why not just one? I mean, that's too complicated to have, 10, 11, 12. Why not just one? Well, the issue is these molecules have different characteristics. Like I said, they have different sizes, different shapes, different affinities for water. And so, because of that, you can't use one absorption technology. So, that's why we have liposomes and micelles and yeast glycoprotein and molecular shuttles. And, I won't go through all of them, but that's why we have all these different technologies. A few of them that I'll highlight, a lot of us know about liposomes, and liposomes are great. A liposome is a structure that is designed to fit molecules from plants that are on the smaller side. And so what happens is a lot of these molecules, they're afraid of water. We call that hydrophobic. And that's a problem because the body's 60, 80% water. And so what happens is a lot of these molecules, when you put them in the body and they're hydrophobic, they just crash out of the water, meaning they don't dissolve in the water. And so if something is going to be absorbed in the body, it needs to dissolve in the bloodstream. And these molecules don't. If something's not absorbed in the bloodstream, it's circulated and then it's pushed out of the body without getting into the cell. And so we use liposomes to encapsulate certain bioactive molecules like resveratrol and delphinidin and polyphenols and anthocyanins that are afraid of water. And so when you have this liposome, the molecules can come in. I actually have a cool
Oh
model. Look at this. So the
my gosh.
black here is a representation of the liposome, and inside the liposome you can fit molecules like this blue molecule and this yellow molecule. So they fit nicely into the liposome. The liposome can then pass through the cell membrane, go into the body, and cause a beneficial response. There's other molecules that are large. They can't fit into a liposome because they're so big. So in that case, we use other technologies. One of them is our molecular shuttle technology, where we take different pieces, different types of molecules that are also large, and we put them around this large molecule so they shuttle them into the body. Basically, these molecules walk beside this big molecule. They basically hold hands with this big molecule and walk it into the cell membrane. Kind of like if you have a celebrity, at a concert and the celebrity can't get through the crowd because there's just so many people. If you surround that celebrity with that entourage of bodyguards that celebrity has, right? The bodyguards will say, "Hey, excuse me," and they're able to walk through the crowd and get that celebrity to the stage so they could perform. That's the concept that we use in our molecular shuttling technology with these larger molecules to make sure they can get through the crowd, through the cell membrane, into the cell so that they can transform human health.
Well, it's very unique. And I think that I loved that analogy about like the celebrity and being, walked in by the bodyguards so that, they get in safely. Everything like that just really made sense to me. I would never even know how to regurgitate any of that information. So for everyone listening on this call right now, I just want you to know we absolutely have the best CSO, the best chief scientific officer. All I know is the products work. I put them in my body, Dr. Dan. I've never taken any products that have worked as quickly as these products have for me. And I've been a personal trainer for 20 years. And so I've promoted a lot of products, but even down to the whole food compounds that are in the Vitalite, like we use different modalities in there too. Like you were talking about earlier, the YGM whatevers. But all I know is that in 2 days, I felt better on that multivitamin than I had in 15 years and using my other supplements. And that to me was absolutely life changing. And then when I see what you're doing with, the resveratrol and the glutathione and the collagen, because collagen is such a hot topic, the way that those are absorbed too. I mean, I walk around and people are like, your skin is glowing. I'm like, we truly have the best products and I feel them. So I know I'm not wasting my time or money on things that aren't actually being absorbed into my body. So thank you for that. And I do kind of want to dive into just a little bit of science and simplicity, but you've said before that good science should feel simple and
Yeah.
accessible. So how does your team make this complex biochemistry approachable for everyday people using three?
I love what you said, Adrian, that we don't need to feel like we need to be a scientist to explain the products. A lot of us aren't scientists. That we're a rare breed. We're really geeky. We're kind of weird. We don't want everybody to be a scientist. The most important thing, though, is the products work. And we have simple resources. We have videos that you could use, you could share with other people. So I think that's one of the key things is I want to make sure that we all understand that we don't need to be a scientist. You don't need to study, and try to memorize things and some of the presentations that we have and the videos we have in our company. You don't need to memorize those and feel like you have to understand everything. The key thing is to just invite, try the products, feel the benefits for yourself, and that will give you, have your own testimonial, and then that'll give you the desire to share our products. And so you could simply share. Now, back to your wonderful question about how do we make science simple and accessible? That goes back to a concept that we call curation, where we take different molecules from different plants from all around the world and we put them together in a curated fashion. It's interesting in social media in the health world, and you know this, Adrian, with your experience. There's always things that come and go that are hot in social media, that are trending, that are viral, right? At one point in time, everybody's talking about resveratrol. And then we're like, oh my gosh, I need to buy resveratrol. And so you go online and you try to buy resveratrol, but then you're like, oh, how much do I need? One product says 50 milligrams, one has 70, one has, 100. The correct answer is actually you need 200 milligrams. So that might not even be an option, right? So you're like, oh, I don't know what I should get. I don't know what type. Should I get it that comes from grape, Japanese knotweed? I don't know. So you just kind of buy one and then you hope it's okay. And then you watch some other videos and they're like, oh, the best thing that you need is selenium. And then you're like, oh, yeah, okay, selenium. Oh, so you go and you try to buy selenium. Well, what type of selenium? Selenium nitrate, selenium chloride, uh, you know, I don't know. Are there yeast glycoprotein selenium? There is, and that's what we use. But a lot of times that's not available. So you're like, oh, okay, I buy a selenium, and then you start taking it. And then collagen. Oh, right, collagen. Well, what type of collagen do you use? Marine, bovine, what size? And so it can be so confusing, and it honestly can be frustrating, right? We want to be healthy. We want to take care of our health. We want to buy things that can help our children and our spouse and our loved ones, but it's just so confusing. What we've done is we've taken the guesswork out of that. So you notice our products, we have hundreds of molecules. We have a lot of different ingredients that we've combined in a curated fashion. So when you take our products, you get thousands of molecules that give you everything that you need for proper function. So we've tried to make it really simple. Don't worry about all this stuff. We've taken care of that for you. We've taken care of the absorption. We've taken care of the amounts of the ingredients that you need. We've taken care of the specific molecules that are within the ingredients. So just take our products, and like you said, you'll feel a difference right away. And that right there is evidence of the fact that we've done our homework. We've made this simple for you. Just take our products, it'll work. You'll feel the benefit, you'll feel the difference, and you can easily share it.
Right. I love that you shared that. And it was simple the way that you shared it too. And I think what I love the most is, yeah, we're all walking billboards of just having three on a daily basis. It's seven ingestible products in a skincare line. I mean, we haven't even gone into the neurocosmetic skincare line, but I love how simplified everything is. And to me, if it's not something I can do every day, easily, and it's easily accessible and I can have it out, I'm not trying to like shove the products in the back of my pantry or something. I can just have them sitting out on the counter. They're sleek, they're sexy, they just sit there. I use them every day. And it's accessible to the point where you see results. And so you never want to stop, right? And so for me, when people do ask me some of these sciencey questions, thank you for recording all of that incredible content material that we're able to just share from our free app. I mean, it's $30 to be a member and you get a whole free app with that. And we go out, we start using the products. I feel like the story is the most important thing. Everybody who, starts using the products is developing their own story and they're able to just go out and share with ease what really sets us apart. But I love having you on here to really come in and dive into the science because it's such a reminder that what we have is unique, it's powerful, and it is making a difference every day. And it's something that people can do for a lifetime. It's not overwhelming at all. It's just a perfect system. So I want to just ask one quick question. What really excites you the most about the direction of where 3 is heading and the kind of impact that you believe these innovations can have on a global wellness scale?
I think we need to really truly understand the power of molecules. A lot of us know that word, a molecule, right? Two atoms combined together that form a bond. That's the basic definition of a molecule.
Mhm.
But what I'm so excited about is there's so many new molecules left to be discovered and explored. And that's what keeps me up at night in a good way. I'm thinking about things. I'm always thinking about new molecules and science. You talked about our skincare line that we launched a little bit ago and the neurocosmetic technology, new molecules from plants that you put on your skin that send a signal to the brain that increase amounts of neurotransmitters. So not only does it help your skin look beautiful, but it improves mood and cognition and sleep and all these things. That's a perfect example of new molecules that we found from nature, from Death Valley, from Japan that we've put together in products that transform human wellness in ways that no other products can. And so I'm excited. We're 2 years into this company and we have a lot of really cool things that we're studying. So that's what I'm most excited about. I encourage people to stick with us because we're going to take you to new places scientifically, new islands, new lands that we've never been before. And that's our goal. That's my passion. Finding new molecules that provide new results to change lives, to give you a new you, to help you to do things that you've never done before, to remove brain fog, to reduce inflammation, to remove parasites. Whatever it is, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to do it in a way and in a manner that's never been seen before in the industry. So my invitation to all of you is to stick with us, continue to use the products, come on this ride with us because it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be fabulous. Your health, as good as it is now, taking our products, is going to be even better because we're continually evolving, we're continually innovating, discovering new ways to improve health, and it's fun and it's going to be awesome. And it is awesome.
Well, it is so exciting to be a part of. I'm so grateful to be partnered with you. I know I say that all the time, but your brain, your genius, the way that you put things together, I've never seen it before in all my 20 years, how well everything just is coming together. And you're right, it is about longevity. I know it is for me. I mean, I'm turning 43 soon, and people don't think I'm 43. And I'm like, I've got these great products. You should understand the science. Let me send you a video. So you are truly changing lives. So thank you so much, Dr. Gubler, for sharing your insights and passion with us today. I mean, it's very clear that the science behind three is truly changing the way that we think about wellness today, and especially from the powerful medicinal molecules to even the advanced absorption technologies that really deliver real results. We truly have real people, real results. And so we're just so excited to continue sharing these innovations with the world and helping more people live healthier, longer, and more vibrant lives. So I just wanted to say to everyone on tonight, you guys, if today's message really inspired you, if you got excited about what we're doing here with Science of Three, we encourage you to share this conversation with others because everyone deserves access to cutting edge science and the gift of better health and longevity.